With Argentina becoming extremely popular recently with Western expats, I'm making this video because I would have wanted this video breaking down the best cities to actually live in Argentina when I was deciding to move there. And it's much more than just Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires is, my favorite city in the country, but it's, only if you like big, crazy mega cities. If you want something else, then there's lots of different cities on offer in Argentina that aren't really spoken about that much. But firstly, who am I? Why would you listen to me talk about Argentina? So this is just some screenshots of a few tweets from my Twitter account. And I sort of post some content on there about Argentina. You can follow it. I'll leave a link down below. But recently they've been getting millions of views. And I'm kind of like talking about how Buenos Aires is the only real alternative to an authentic European lifestyle outside of Europe. And, a little bit about Patagonia and how you can live off grid. And, how that it's completely possible now to just live off grid, use Starlink and, work remotely and run a business from Patagonia. So another thing is I've actually been to these places. I also live in Buenos Aires for part of the year. So I actually know what I'm talking about. Unlike a lot of people on YouTube just, reading off a AI, generated script. I'm actually trying to give you some good insight into these places to help you sort of make a decision of where would be best for you to live in Argentina. So let's kind of get into Argentina. So firstly, a little bit about Argentina, and I'm sure you've been hearing a lot of, great things about the country. But one huge benefit of Argentina is that they have the fastest citizenship in the world. So it only takes 2 years to get the Argentine passport, and it's a very overpowered passport, ranked in the top 20 globally. And, by far has the highest quality of life in Latin America. You can look at statistics. Some statistics might put Chile a little bit above. Some might put Uruguay slightly above. But, having been to all of these countries, I think people rely too much on statistics and on rankings and on XYZ. Go visit the countries yourself, and I'm sure you'll come back agreeing that Argentina is the best and the most livable. And, it feels very European. You do not feel like you're in Latin America at all when you're in downtown Buenos Aires and when you're in these cities that I'm going to mention. It's also extremely safe for a South American country. I'm sure you've heard a lot of stuff about South America being unsafe, this, that, whatever. But Argentina is very safe compared to other countries in Latin America. It's also very easy to integrate. Argentines are very accepting people. If you learn Spanish, you'll, have an amazing time. They'll accept you as them. They'll invite you to family asados, invite you to events. Argentines love doing that type of stuff. And even if you don't speak Spanish, even if they speak a little bit of English, they'll really try to, accommodate and understand you. And yeah. And also Argentina is a great place because it's geopolitically neutral. And this is something that a lot of people are worried about, with there being a lot of war in the world right now and uncertainty with Western countries that are, getting involved in different conflicts. Argentina is a great plan B, and especially in a place like Patagonia, where you can buy land, buy property very cheaply, and, kind of have it as a backup. So the first place we're going to talk about is not Buenos Aires. We'll talk about that later. I want to talk about Mendoza. And also in this video, in the top right corner, you will see these coat of arms, and I've just added the coat of arms for each province because I just love the design of them in Argentina. So Mendoza is one of my favorite places in the entire world. And this picture here is just showing, one of the many landscapes that you can kind of find in Mendoza. So Mendoza is right at the foothills of the Andes Mountains. If you look at a bottle of Argentine wine, so if you go to your local store, grab a bottle of Argentine wine, it will most likely be from Mendoza. Also, it's very close to Santiago, the capital of Chile. So you can fly there in like, an hour and a half, maybe even a little bit less. There's also a border pass through the mountains that connects it, very popular border pass. There's like many buses. You can even drive very easily to get to Santiago. And, this makes it great because obviously foreign products are a little bit hard to find in Argentina sometimes. So it's like amazing to just, be so close to Santiago. And when I say close, I don't mean like 20 minutes away. Like it's still pretty far, but it's pretty well connected to Santiago. So you can go there, and like in Chile, you can find basically every Western amenity that you want that are quite difficult to pick up in Argentina. But, Mendoza is one of those beautiful places that isn't like too far off the beaten path. It's like, even though the population is technically 100,000 people, like the actual metro area, it feels like a much bigger city, and it is much bigger. And it's like a very developed, nice, compact city that's very safe. You know, you're basically anywhere you are in the city, you can see the Andes Mountains. And it's just like a great place, you know, if you just want like an apartment in the city center, or even if you want to buy like a vineyard or some land, you know, out in the sticks. On average, it's around $700 per month for an apartment, you know, right in the city center. And throughout this video, I'm going to be talking about like the average rental price, and I'm not talking about like the cheapest. I'm also not talking about the most expensive. I'm talking about like a decent average place in the city center. Of course, you can go cheaper if you want to go out, and of course, you can go way more expensive. So that's kind of the average. Also, to like buy an apartment in the city center, you're looking around $80,000. There are some good deals for like $60,000 in the city center as well. So it's a very affordable place to buy real estate and to live. And quite a lot of people are retiring in Mendoza, you know, not just in the city, but in the province. And, you know, buying land, buying a ranch, buying, you know, like a vineyard, etc. It's just an absolutely amazing place to live. And Mendoza is one of my top picks. So the next one is obviously the capital, Buenos Aires. It's by far the best, you know, big city in Latin America. Population, you know, around 15 million. It's absolutely huge. The climate in Buenos Aires is like a subtropical climate. It's a pretty humid place. It gets pretty hot in summer, not too cold in winter. And, you know, Buenos Aires is absolutely amazing if you want that big city feeling, like a ton of culture, a ton of, you know, Western expats also live there now. You know, it's just an amazing place to sort of, you know, like go get coffee in the morning, have breakfast, you know, kind of like outside a cafe as you would in a place like Madrid or Paris. It's a very European lifestyle, and it's still very affordable. So like an apartment right in the best area of the city will set you back like $1,000 a month. And to buy, you can even buy a place in the same neighborhood for like $125,000. So very affordable real estate in Buenos Aires as well. And it's just an absolutely amazing city. You know, it's getting better connected. Even though Argentina is pretty far down the globe, it's just getting better connected every single year. There's more flight routes opening up. And it's just constantly improving. It's a very safe city. It's a very livable city. And also, if you want to move to any of these places, if you want to move to Argentina, you want to buy a property, you want to help renting a property or anything like that, feel free to book a call down below, and we're happy to help. So the next one is Bariloche, and this is in Patagonia. And, you know, maybe you've heard of Bariloche. It's basically a town that looks like a very German town. It was originally built by German settlers. And it's, you know, one of the main hubs of Patagonia, and it's very popular with digital nomads. It's, you know, right on this beautiful lake, and, you know, pretty well connected. It's easy to get to, you know, sort of a lot of the hiking sites and stuff like that in Patagonia. And, you know, it's just an absolutely stunning place to live. And, you know, even if you don't live there all year round, it's like, you know, if you come down there during summer and you own a place, you come down for like 2-3 months per year during summer, it's absolutely amazing. And I think this setup is pretty perfect, you know, for remote workers, you know, from North America, from Canada, the US. You know, maybe you hate winter, so you come down to a place like Bariloche for summer, when it's winter up there in the northern hemisphere. And, you know, it's not going to be like insanely hot like Buenos Aires. It's going to be like a nice temperature, great for hiking, great for being outdoors, and it's just a beautiful place. You know, you can buy an apartment in Bariloche for like $90,000, or rent a place for like $800 a month. You can also buy some like stunning homes with lots of land for, you know, $200,000 to $300,000, and I'm talking like a lot of land, beautiful houses and stuff like that. It's also, you know, very developed, very well connected, and it's just like an amazing place. And I think the climate is pretty perfect as well during summertime. So the last one is Cordoba. Don't get this confused with Cordoba in Spain. We're talking about Cordoba in Argentina. It's the second largest city inside of Argentina, and this is going to be, you know, the place for people if they want to live really cheap and they still want that big city sort of vibe. It's one of the cheapest places to rent an apartment in Argentina. You know, it's literally the average rental price is around $500 a month, like an apartment in the city center. And, you know, you can buy a really nice apartment for like $65K. You can go even cheaper than that if you want. But it's a big city. It's got like 4 million people. And, you know, it has kind of a similar vibe to Buenos Aires. It's a bit more bit more like not dangerous, but it's a bit more lively. Like you're definitely gonna want to speak some Spanish there. You know, it's not like the capital where everyone speaks Spanish. Where everyone speaks English, but Cordoba is a pretty cool place. You know, it's got like a lot of students living there. It's a pretty young city. Obviously, you know, you're not near the ocean like with Buenos Aires, but it's still a great place. It has a great climate, pretty similar to Buenos Aires as well, and also, you know, pretty developed and just like a nice livable city. I think this would be perfect for, you know, someone that wants to retire. They want to live very cheap. You know, you could even find an apartment for like $350 per month if you look hard enough as well. And live, you know, in one of the outer regions of the city. And you know, it's also great for like young people. If you're building a business, you want to live cheap, Cordoba's a great place for that as well. To round it up, so I would say for families, I would recommend Mendoza or Bariloche. Bariloche is also great, you know, for like a summer home to escape the winter. And then, you know, a place like Cordoba is great for people looking to retire. Mendoza is also great if you want to retire cheaply as well. Buenos Aires is going to be great for, you know, young people that want to live in a big city, for people that, you know, want that European lifestyle, maybe have a remote job. And Argentina is also a pretty great time zone as well, in between sort of North America and Europe. It's pretty well situated. And it's just an extremely nice, livable place. And if you want to move to any of these places, you can book a call down below and we'll be happy to help. We also help with renting apartments, purchasing real estate, opening bank accounts.